Bear with me, guys. This is a mega episode of Foeontheflicks. Since I watch so many TV shows and movies and I would love to review them all, I don't want to make one video per show or movie, so this is going to be a cram episode where I quickly as possible, as fast as I can, go through 22 TV series that I watched recently this year. Not all of them came out this year, but I watched all these this year. And they're all super good, bingeable shows. Okay? Let's get right into it with number one. From. Oh my God. From is the best show, one of the best shows I've ever seen. The concept is one of the best concepts I've ever seen. Basically, this family is going on a trip and they come to this town, this random town that's everyone shows up here. They're somewhere in the United States usually, heading somewhere, and then they hit this road and there's a tree laying in the road and they have to turn around, and then they get caught in this loop and they get stuck in this fucking one little town. And it gets better. Crazy fucking zombie type things. They're not zombies, but they're like humans. They look like humans, but they smile like this. Super creepy. And they walk super slow, but when they catch you, they literally rip you apart in the most brutal, gory, vicious way. And it's just super good. People are trying to survive. People are trying to get home. People are trying to have relationships. People are trying to, get a signal out there. Don't want to give any spoilers, but watch From. It's on Epics. I watch it on my website where I watch everything for free. Wink, wink. But you guys should definitely watch From. I give it a solid 95% on the faux scale. And then we go moving on because this is a long list of 22 shows. Number 2, we have Chapelwaite, starring Adrian Brody. I didn't even give you the full premise of From. I gave you my version, but here's Chapelwaite's. Adrian Brody got a 63% Rotten Tomatoes. 70% of users like this show. Excuse me. Captain Charles Boone relocates his family of 3 children to his ancestral home in Maine after his wife dies at sea. Okay. That doesn't tell you very much, but if you like vampire shows, you'll like this one. I'll just say that. It's very bingeable, very easy to get right into. And Adrian Brody is like, he's hitting and missing a lot of things recently, but sorry for your ears for that. Still trying to fix this gnat problem. Anyway, he's just super good in this show. It's I love old shows that are based back in like the 1800s, early 1900s. I think that's when this is based, in like 1930s or something. And yeah, it's a different take on the whole vampire thing, but it's definitely good, definitely worth a watch. I give it a solid 88% on the faux scale. Now, number 3. Let's see what we have. Number 3, we have The Boys. Okay, everybody knows The Boys on Amazon. Everybody knows this show. Season 3 just came out on Amazon. I think only 4 episodes are out as of now. Yeah, I'm up to 3. I'm gonna watch the new one today probably if I have time. Yeah, The Boys is got a 92% Rotten Tomatoes. Superheroes are often as popular as celebrities, as influential as politicians, and sometimes even as revered as gods. But that's when they're using their powers for good. What happens when the heroes go rogue and start abusing their powers? When it's the powerless against the super powerful, the boys head out on a heroic quest to expose the truth about the Seven and Vault, the multi-billion-dollar conglomerate that manages the superheroes and covers up their dirty secrets based on the comic book series of the same name. Now, this show is bonkers. Absolutely crazy show. And there's going to be a couple shows that qualify for crazy. But this one is nuts, super funny, action's great. If you love superhero stuff, you'll love this this TV series. I definitely recommend The Boys. Anyway, I give The Boys a solid 98% on the Foe scale because for what it is, it's almost perfect. Number 4. Ooh, here's a different change of scenery. We have Archive 81. Okay. This got an 86% Rotten Tomatoes. An archivist takes a job restoring damaged videotapes but finds themselves getting pulled into a mystery involving the missing director and a mysterious cult that they were documenting. Okay. This show is a mystery. It's on Netflix. The premise doesn't really give you much, but it is a mindfuck show. It's a psychological thriller. It says mystery, but I think it classifies as psychological thriller, and I really enjoyed this show. At first glance, it didn't look like something that would be that good. It looked like maybe one of those cheap shows on Netflix, but no, I was wrong. I started it, I got hooked, I finished it in like a day or two. Very good show, definitely recommend. I give it a solid 85% on the Foe scale, which is 1% lower than Rotten Tomatoes, so hey, I must know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's get on with it to number 5. We have a classic roll call music for the classics, Stranger Things. I know everybody knows it's almost redundant to put this on the list because if you haven't seen Stranger Things by now, are you even living? Season 4 just recently came out. Let me give you the premise if you've been living under a rock like Patrick Starr. In 1980s Indiana, a group of young friends witness supernatural forces and secret government exploits as they search for answers. The children unravel a series of extraordinary mysteries. That's basically what happens in the show. I don't want to give any spoilers, but it basically starts off with a young girl who was in this program that was practicing mind control, telekinetics, something like that. And she can move shit with her mind, but she's very young, and she doesn't have any experience in the world. And she meets a police officer, played by the great, I'm not sure his name, I can look it up right here for you, played by the great David Harbour, Jim Hopper. He's a police chief, and he's had a troubled past, and he sees this little orphan with superpowers and basically has a calling to take care of her, protect her. And that's how it starts, and I won't tell you how it ends, but I definitely recommend you watch it for yourself if you haven't already. And I give Stranger Things 100%. It's so good, so nostalgic. I was a 90s baby, 94, but I love seeing stuff like this shot in the 80s look. I mean, they did a great job. The cast is phenomenal. All the kids do great. Sadie Sink plays Max Mayfield. She really has a breakthrough in season 4. And yeah, Millie Bobby Brown plays 11. She's beautiful, gorgeous. It might be weird for me to say that. I think she's 18 now. But it'd definitely be weird if I'm saying that about the first season. Drake can say it. So, Anyway, okay. Let's keep going, guys. We got 22 to do. We're at 10 minutes in. Okay, I'm trying to get through this fast, guys. Bear with me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Number 6, we have Tokyo Vice, HBO Max. This show, fucking so good, man. So good. This is one of those shows I could watch twice, probably like it just as much. Got an 86% Rotten Tomatoes. I'm not a huge fan of this Baby Driver actor. I'm not sure his name. Let's check. Ansel Elgort. Uh, Good actor. Does a great job in the show. The premise is Jake Adelstein, an American journalist, plugs into the Tokyo Vice police squad, and descends into the neon underbelly of Tokyo. Basically, there's a journalist kid from America who wants to be the first American. That's not his goal to be the first American or Jewish person, but he wants to work for the paper in Tokyo, the biggest paper, which I cannot remember the name, but it's like the New York Times for Tokyo. And that's like his dream as a kid, to get truth from news and get it out there to the public. And he gets curious about the Yakuza and starts digging. And that's where I'll leave it, with no more spoilers. But I give it 100% on the faux scale. It was that good. Okay, and that's number 6. And now we have, moving on up. Number 7, we have Peacemaker, starring John Cena. If you have seen the Suicide Squad, I think he was in it. Yeah, he was in the new one. Peacemaker is a man who fights for peace at any cost, no matter how many people he has to kill to get it. No matter how many women and children he has to kill to get it, is more accurate. Not that he's a woman and kid killer, but he'll do whatever it takes for peace. And it got a 94% Rotten Tomatoes. I'll give it a 95 on the faux scale. It's a fucking great show. So funny. Every episode's just better and better. It's a hilarious show. Super, super funny. Definitely recommend you watch Peacemaker. And then moving on, we got something more on a serious note. We Own This City, starring one of my favorite actors, John Bernthal, who played the Punisher. It got a 94% Rotten Tomatoes. I give it 100% Rotten Tomato, or faux scale, the faux scale, 100%. And it's based on true events, which makes it even more interesting. In Baltimore. Based on the book We Own This City, a true story of crime, cops, and corruption by Baltimore Sun reporter Justin Fenton, this gritty drama chronicles the rise and fall of the Baltimore Police Department's Gun Trace Task Force. It exposes the corruption and moral collapse that befalls an American city in which the policies of drug prohibition and mass arrest are championed at the expense of actual police work. Created and written by David Simon, creator of The Wire, and George Pelecanos, production took place in Baltimore. This show gets right into the goods, right into the dirt of how brutal and cruel police can actually be. And I like how he can be a dick cop and not be racist. That's what I like about this show. There's not much racism in it, which there probably was a lot back then during the Freddie Gray and everything, but it's just not needed. The cops were dicks, and they focus on that. The cops were dicks for corrupt reasons, not race reasons and shit like that. It's not like that, but it is dirty, it is corrupt, and it is a must watch. Must watch. Hashtag must watch. We Own This City. I definitely recommend it for you guys. I give it a 95 on the faux scale. Okay, moving on. Okay, where we're at. We Own This City 8. We're at number 9, Firebite. Okay, here's a second vampire show. I think there's 3 on this list. Firebite is an Australian drama, thriller, action show. Got 86% Rotten Tomatoes. I'll give it a solid 95%. I really like this show. When the Vampire King arrives to the last colonial stronghold in a remote Australian mining town, it's up to two Aboriginal renegades, Tyson and Shanika, to stop and end the bloody 230-year war for land and power. And these two blokes, hero's life, Neeks, hero's life. You gotta watch this show. It's fucking great. And the guy who plays Tyson, Rob Collins, good actor, Australian guy. I really like this show. I like the vampire shows, and I like new takes on the vampires. And this is definitely a different take. Kind of similar, but kind of different. Anyway, it's super good. Definitely recommend it. Post scale 95. Moving on. Number 10, we have Midnight Mass. Okay. Midnight Mass. Oh yeah, it's another vampire show. There might be more than 3 on this list. Told you guys I like vampire stuff. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Midnight Mass. Oh no, that's Midnight Mass. Okay, got an 86% Rotten Tomatoes. And the arrival of a charismatic priest brings miracles, mysteries, and renewed religious fervor to a dying town. Basically, a priest starts performing miracles, and there's a sinister underlying thing going on in the town. And I won't give any spoilers, but things aren't as they seem. I'll just say that. I definitely recommend Midnight Mass. It's bingeable. The crew and the cast, Kate Siegel, she's great. I've seen her in lots of movies. She's really good in it. Main character who I haven't seen in anything is Zach Gilford. And then the priest, Hamish Linklater. It's a super good show. Definitely recommend it. I give it a solid 90% on the faux scale. Okay? And it is a horror show. It's a mute horror. It's not super horror. Okay, Midnight Mass. That's number 10. We're going to 11. We have The Tourist, starring Jamie Dahmer, I think it is. This is a show on HBO Max. It's a thriller, and it's very thrilling from beginning to end. Got a 97% Rotten Tomatoes. I'll match that on the faux scale with a 97. A man wakes up in an Australian outback with no recollection of who he is, and he must try to piece together his memory as merciless figures from his past pursue him. It's a good premise. That's pretty much what's going on. Yeah, it's a good show. Jamie Dornan, that's his name. He's an Irish guy, and yeah, he's got an Irish accent in this, and it's pretty good. Moving on, because I gotta use the bathroom, so I'm about to go super fast for the rest. Okay, guys, so bear with me. Here we go. We had The Tourist at number... I really gotta learn how to organize. Excuse me, again. Sorry guys, The Tourist was 11. Okay, now we're at number 12. We have Tribes of Europa. This is a German show. Tribes of Europa. It's a sci-fi, and it's great on Netflix. It's a very hidden gem show that I probably never would have watched if I didn't just stumble across it and say, let me give this a try. You're going to have to watch in subtitles because it is German, I believe. It's got 92% Rotten Tomatoes. I give it a 92% on the faux scale. In 2070, 3 siblings set out to change the fate of Europe after a global catastrophe fractures it into countless micro-states fighting for dominance. Very good show. Definitely recommend. Moving on now, we have at number 13, Krakow Monsters. This is a Polish show, also on Netflix. It's not Rotten Tomatoes, but 84% Google users like this show. A woman haunted by her past joins a mysterious professor and his group of gifted students who investigate paranormal activity and fight demons. It's basically like the Polish version of the Uncanny Counter. And it's very good because Polish in general has great mythological creatures and demons and shit like that. And it's super interesting, shot super well, everything's super clean and crisp, clear, and the acting is great, and the main character she is a dime piece. Okay, Krakow Monsters, definitely recommend that one as well. No, moving on, Star Trek, number 14, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I've never watched the old Star Treks, but I've watched up to episode 4 of the new season of Strange New World, and it's, what can I say? It's a great show. It's a very great show. I give it a solid, well, Rotten Tomatoes gives it 98%. I'll give it 100%. I'll be nice, because it's that good. Captain Pike, Science Officer Spock, and Number 1 explore new worlds around the galaxy on the USS Enterprise. And that's it. Okay. And then we have, at number 15, The Baby, which I'm going to run over because I did a review on The Baby and We Own This City already. You guys can check that out if you're interested. It's a horror comedy on HBO Max about a diabolical baby. Super good. Now we have at number 16. Let's see here. Halo. That's good. Even though I haven't finished it, there's one episode left, and I just haven't really got to it because it's a good show for a video game TV show. If you're a fan of Halo, it's super nostalgic. It's pretty accurate to the games and the story and Master Chief. It's pretty cool. But I'll give it like a 70% on the faux scale. It's lower down in my tier of shows because the acting is so-so, but it's worth the watch if you grew up playing Halo. It's definitely worth checking out. And then another one at number 17, we have The Woman in the House Across the Street, which is basically a TV show similar to the movie on Netflix with Amy Adams, The Woman in the House Across the Street. No, The Woman Across the Street. The Woman in the Window Across the Street. This is The Woman in the House Across the Street. So, it's played by Kristen Bell. I think she hasn't been in much lately, but she does a great job. Kills the role. It's good. Thriller, build up, psychological. You don't know what's going on. I'm not sure what it got on the ratings, but I give it a solid 78% on the faux scale. Just because it didn't blow me away. It's not one of those must-watch. It's not a must-watch, but it was good for what it was. And then, sorry I'm talking a little quieter. The maids are here, so if you hear stuff in the background, that is why. I'm going to try to wrap this up quickly, though. At number 18, we have The Defeated. Here's a standout on the list. This is a old war show, and it is very, very good. Very, very good. It's also on Netflix. One season, 82% liked it, 7 out of 10 IMDb, no Rotten Tomatoes. Starring Taylor Kitsch as Max McLaughlin. Police officer Max McLaughlin arrives in Berlin in 1946 to establish a new police force in the wake of the war and hopes to find his brother, who is presumed dead. Moritz. Anyway, Good show. Definitely recommend. Don't want to give any spoilers, but the premise is a good premise. It's pretty much what goes down. And then we have Ozark. The new season of Ozark was good. I don't even need to say much because I'm sure if you're a fan of movies and TV shows, you've already seen Ozark. It's a crazy show about a guy who gets involved with the cartel, and he's super good at numbers and shit like that. And he's a boss, and it's by the great Jason Bateman. He's the star in it. Ozark, I give it a 90% because it's a little repetitive in season 4, but it's still good and still got you guessing. You don't know what is going on, what's going to happen. And I definitely recommend that. And then we have number 20, Outer Range, starring Josh Brolin. This is on Amazon. And this is a strange show. It got an 80% Rotten Tomatoes. I'll match that on the faux scale at 80%. Outer Range is an American science fiction neo-western streaming television series created by Brian Watkins and starring Josh Brolin. Shot in New Mexico. It's a drama. Outer Range. Super good show. Very interesting. Very different. Very different. Never seen a show like this. Aside from the other Amazon show coming up on the list, The Night Sky. It's very similar. But at 21 next we have The Outsider. I'm going to sneak that in real quick. At number 21, it's a thriller. Also has Jason Bateman in it. 91% Rotten Tomatoes. I'll give it a 98%. It's super good. Very, very super good. Based on Stephen King's best-selling novel of the same name, The Outsider begins by following an investigation. At first seems like it will be simple and straightforward, but things change as it leads into the gruesome murder of a young boy by a seasoned cop. When an insidious supernatural force edges its way into the case, it leads the investigators to question everything they believe in. The character of Holly Gibney from Mr. Mercedes is a major character in this series. Yes, she is. Holly Gibney, Cynthia Erivo. She's phenomenal in this show. It's got Ben Mendelsohn, Jason Bateman, Mark Menchaca, Bill Camp, Jeremy Bobb, Patty Considine, etc. Mayor Winningham. Good show. Good thriller. Very good thriller. And then last but not least, we have The Night Sky, which I just started a couple days ago. I haven't finished yet, but or not The Night Sky, it's called Night Sky. Just Night Sky. And it's a good show. 75% Rotten Tomatoes. I'll match it on the faux scale at 75. Irene and Franklin York have kept a secret chamber that leads to a deserted planet, but the arrival of an enigmatic young man upends their quiet existence. Starring Sissy Spacek, J.K. Simmons, Kia McKiernan, and Chai Hansen. Pretty good sci-fi so far. I think I'm like 5-6 episodes in. I think it's got 8. So it's definitely worth a watch. And guys, we're coming up to 30 minutes. So I will leave the list in the description below of all the shows I reviewed today. Short reviews, spoiler-free reviews, but the purpose of this video is so you guys know what to watch. And please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. I also left out Obi-Wan, The Mandalorian, and Boba Fett. All Star Wars shows on Disney. All very, very good. All very, very recommendable. And we're going to wrap it up there. Thanks for watching, guys. That was Foeontheflicks. Hope you enjoy the content. And I hope you enjoy all the content I've just listed for you. Because if you are a binge-worthy consumer of movies and shows, All of these are binge-worthy shows for you to impose your views.